I want anyone who's been through what I've been through or anything similar to know this. It's time to take your power back. It's time to find your voice. It's time to start being happy and living again. This isn't about them. It isn't about anyone else. This is about you. Finding your voice, keeping it, and never letting anyone silence it again. It's about reclaiming your power, loving yourself, and living your life to the fullest. Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. My name is Indigo, and welcome to All Things Indigo. So I wanted to talk about intrusive thoughts. This channel is about mental health, physical, emotional, sexual abuse, and stories, and overcoming and taking your power back and finding joy in the little things in life, right? So I want to talk about intrusive thoughts. So um, a lot of times, depending, with mental health, you often, well, people often have intrusive thoughts, right? Probably not even, I'm not even sure if it's just people with mental health. I think, some other people probably have, some thoughts, negative thoughts, or whatever the case may be, but I know it's different for people who deal with mental health, right? So intrusive thoughts are thoughts, negative thoughts. I'm specifically talking about, when you deal with anxiety, depression, um, panic attacks, schizophrenia, because I actually came across a channel. Everybody who knows what those things are knows, some of the unfortunate negative things that come with that. So I wanted to speak about my personal issues that I had over the years with intrusive thoughts. So I can remember when, years and years ago, when I was with my husband still, we were very much still living together. The kids were younger, things like that. And I, you know, started, I was still dealing with depression, anxiety, panic attacks, things like that. And out of nowhere, I remember starting to have really negative thoughts, scary, negative thoughts. Thing. So in the beginning, when they would come, I didn't know quite how to combat them. Well, maybe I did because, and I'm saying this because I would often, I would be very, very concerned, scared, um, of the thoughts that I was having, like, just was just negative, like, what if this and what if that, type thoughts. And I would watch, this was me, this is something that helped and soothed me, The Color Purple. I would watch the movie Color Purple. Now mind you, at that time I had a VCR, and it was on a VHS tape, and I would watch it over and over again. It was something, I don't know, it was the only thing that helped me, soothe me, took my mind off it. Like, I didn't watch regular TV. Um, I don't, yeah, remember watching much television. That one, the VHS, that one movie, for some reason was of sisters to me in a soothing way and things like that. And I know, um, like later on, like after my husband left, well, he didn't leave. After I parted ways with him and I moved into another place, the thoughts got more intrusive. Just like, oh, yeah, it's basically like, this can happen to you. This can happen to you. You might give up, wanting to just didn't want to deal with the everyday this situation that I was dealing with off and on and stuff like the just the physical feelings of this panic attacks and anxiety and stress. I just you all the while all the while I'm remembering my children though. So they really kept me sane, kept me pushing on, kept me fighting. They are the reason that I fought because I'm pretty sure it probably would have been easier if had I not had my children to do something else. But it was like almost having a battle between good thoughts and bad thoughts, and it was a struggle at first. It was a struggle because I my thoughts I had so much negativity, right? So much negative thoughts over the years because of the things that I dealt with, the physical abuse, the sexual abuse, the emotional abuse, the mental abuse. I had so much, and also I was really like left by myself a lot. Not just when I was younger, because I did tell the story about me always being like mostly being by myself after my sister, and then sometimes I didn't even know where she was at. But even in my marriage, I was left by myself while my husband partied and did whatever he wanted to do. I was with my kids, but I had my friends um were not there. He basically ran them off. I didn't have anybody, so I was pretty much left with by myself. And I talked to my therapist about this just recently because even when I was living with him, he got to run the streets, right? And his parents didn't really talk to me. You know, I stayed mostly in his room. Um, his brother would come over with his girlfriend. They would be getting ready to go out on a night on the town and everything. And I was stuck in a room by myself, a small room he had. And I was stuck in the room by myself. Now my kids would be with the grandparents, running up and down or whatever, running up and down the house, things like that. And I was mostly stuck by myself. So I had nothing but time to conjure things. Like, for instance, there was a time where I would wake up maybe 3 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, and my husband wouldn't be there. But I convinced myself that he was in the next room having sex with someone else, cheating on me in the home, the same home, like just next door. I convinced myself of that so much in my mind that I would listen to the wall to the next door. I listen to the wall. This is not the first time. It actually, okay, that's all. It actually, like, I did it so much where one time I heard the bed moving. Like, yeah, I convinced myself that the bed was squeaking. It's not funny, but just thinking about it, like, it's like, yeah, I convinced myself. So I go running out the room and open the door, and there's no one there. I would also, times I would get up and I would go downstairs because there was a upstairs and a downstairs. It was a home with, upstairs and a downstairs. His room was upstairs, and the living room, kitchen, and dining room and things like that were downstairs. And I would go downstairs. Like, they turned off the lights because they paid, light, gas, electricity. And I would go downstairs just to see if he was in the house with anyone else because he had cheated on me a lot, you know. So it pushed me. to always be like, well, wondering, and of course he wasn't downstairs, but one night, I think I got up and I was, I used to. So the father would then, like, there was times he wasn't home. He might have been like probably at, little get-togethers or whatever. So he wasn't home at those times. Plus he worked overnight too, so that's another thing. Um, I would go so the father room was in the front, so you could see, the front door, the yard, everything. And I would often look out there to see if I seen him. And one night he was actually standing in front of the door talking to his friends. And the friends are talking about the girls they was with and everything. Yeah, so bottom line is, hmm, intrusive thoughts can often be triggering. So my point in bringing this up is because, yeah, the intrusive thoughts are very, very horrible. Um, so yeah, that, even when I moved in on my own and I was separated from my husband and things, I was scared because a lot of my thoughts would be like, not so great for a mother, you know, um, like, yeah, it's best that you give them up. It's best that you just do this and do that. Very, very bad thoughts. Um, Even one time, um, there was a period where I faced thoughts of jumping out my window. Like that's how bad the intrusive thoughts were. So I'm talking about this. I wanted to share this because I want to um I want to let you guys know that you can combat them. It was hard at first, and still sometimes I have negative thoughts, but it's not as negative as it used to be, right? I instantly, what you can do is, when you have a rough or a bad day, or maybe you're in a because I notice it comes mostly when you don't have a TV on, or sometimes when I had a small bathroom, right, the thoughts would come while you just sitting on the toilet and things. You just be thinking the worst, like just different negative thing. It don't even have to be the worst thing. It's just like, oh, I'm gonna go pour. I like, or just negative thoughts, right? Intrusive. How what I did was, every time I would have a negative thought, I would instantly think of something positive. I would instantly think of something like, oh, I love going fishing. When I go fishing next time, I want to try for some flounder, some fluke fishing. I want to try for some fluke fishing, some porgies and things like that. When I go, I'm going to bring fake worms and things like that, real worms also, and shrimp. I'm gonna get everything so I can, like, so stuff like that. Or I'm going to today, like I said, it's something kind of like when you write in your journal, and I spoke about that in my earlier videos, right? Like, it's like you writing down how you feeling that day, but at the end of it you say, I'm going to have a wonderful day. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. Or if you write in the morning, you say the rest of my day will be a wonderful day. And you this is your goal, this is your mission. And that's what I did with the intrusive thoughts. Every time, it's like when you play a video game, right? And you're trying to, street fight or anything, like you're trying to, beat the opponent. It's like that. You gotta figure out the codes. You have to figure out the codes. Um, that's what I did. So it was like, every time I counterattacked. Every time an attack of a negative thought came in, I counterattacked it. And that's what you have to keep in mind. As soon as you sit up there and it's like, man, I'm never going to be like this, or I'm never going to get this, or I'm never going to do this, or what if I, because that's what a part of my thing too. Like, if I die, will my kids be okay? I would have thoughts like that too. And then I would have to go, they're going to be fine. I've given them the tools. I didn't have a lot of tools, but I've given them as much as I could. And even I still give them things. And I make sure I have plans in place. So nobody won't wonder anything. You understand? Like, I wrote down everything. They know my codes, my passwords, whatever, because I don't want them to have to worry about anything. So that was one thing. Sometimes when I go, you can't do that, or you, like I said, when I with the brunching in one of my last previous videos, I was making up every excuse in my mind. I don't want people to see me because I've gained so much weight. I don't I don't want to be seen. I still have this thing. Like I said, I'm not perfect, so I still struggle with things because after years, it's like starting to walk again after you've been in years of turmoil. It's like trying to walk again. It's like trying to live again. Trying to life again, trying to happiness again, trying to joy again, right? So I try to I combat it. So it's you combating it and just making sure you counterclock that. You punch it, combo it, like a game and everything like that, and it works. I promise you it works. Like I said, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm just someone who who has been through a lot, and I want to just share what I've been through to be a testimony and also to be inspiration, or maybe even give someone a different way to try to turn things around. you know um Try to just maybe think like, what, if she can do it, I can do it. Just little things. It's not an overnight thing. Things that, if you've been through so much for so many years, it's not an overnight thing, but it can get better. Things can get better. So, especially with intrusive thoughts, like I said, find your joy in the littlest things, and magnify it if you can. So, I just wanted to really touch on that because that was something I had went through. And like I said, I'm not going to say like there aren't times where, because I want people to know, like I want to be very transparent. I want to be very, very honest. I'm not going to say it's not times like, uh you know why is this, oh, this happened, or maybe I feel some type of way. But like I said, I write in my journal like, tomorrow's going to be a better day, because I'm going to make it be a better day. I'm not going to lay down. I don't I'm tired of laying down. I've laid down. I've let people walk all over me. I've you know I've been silent. I've been the friend that will take the back seat. I used to do that a lot. I've been that person to everybody in my life, and now I'm just where I'm at. Not saying like I'm being rude or like forget you, you know. I'm saying I'm putting me first. My children are grown now, and I have to remember that, you know. So I try to make sure every day I keep my mind focused on being more positive than negative, you know. Sometimes, yeah, days are overwhelming. I'm not going to act like, yeah, nothing is perfect, but I'm going to fight. I'm so ready to make sure I fight every single day. I'm getting older, you know. 47 years old. I'm almost 50, and God's will, I'm planning on having a fabulous 50th birthday. Fabulous. At least I want it to be. First of all, my favorite thing is seafood. Oh, I'm going somewhere where some seafood is at. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. So if you can take any tools from what I said, you know, and even if you know any tools that will help someone, I would love for you guys to leave it in the comments. Please like and subscribe, even share if you know someone who needs to hear, you know, about helping try to combat intrusive thoughts. But, you know, thank you so much and blessings. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.